Cobra is one of those movies that feels like it was made to live on VHS shelves. The kind of tape you'd see at the video store with that iconic cover, Stallone in the sunglasses holding that gun with the laser sight, a matchstick in his mouth, and you knew right away that this was something you had to rent. It was pure 80s grit, soaked in neon, violence, and attitude.
This is where the law stops, and I start. Stallone is a cop called Cobra.
Marion Cobretti is a cop, but not the clean, by-the-book kind. He's the guy who shows up when the rules stop working. From the moment you see him, you know he's carved out of the same rock as the era's other action icons, but he's sharper, colder, and less forgiving.
I'll blow this whole place up!
Go ahead. I don't shock her. You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
Cobretti doesn't waste words, doesn't play nice, and doesn't care about the politics of the force. He's there to get the job done, and the job usually involves a body count.
The strong arm of the law.
The movie is pure 80s excess, and that's what makes it so fun. The violence is brutal, the villains are larger than life, and the whole story feels like it's been stripped down to the essentials. Good guy, bad guys, and a city that looks like it's rotting under the weight of crime.
I don't deal with psychos. I put them away.
Die! Drop it!
The gang in Cobra isn't subtle either. They're axe-wielding lunatics, chanting in warehouses, moving like a death cult instead of a street gang. It gives the movie this strange, almost horror-like atmosphere. You're not watching cops and robbers, you're watching Stallone take on an army of faceless maniacs.
Pretty hair.
And then there's the atmosphere. Cobra has that neon-drenched style that defined so much of mid-80s action. The streets glow red and blue, the cars gleam under streetlights, and the whole thing has this VHS energy that never lets up. Even the quieter moments, like Cobretti eating cold pizza with scissors, add to that gritty, offbeat feel.
Society is breeding a new kind of criminal.
It's not really about being realistic and more about being stylish and creating a world that feels dangerous even when nothing's happening. Cobra never pretended to be high art, and that's why it still works. It's lean, fast, and packed with attitude. It's the kind of movie that feels like it was made for Friday night rentals, rewound and replayed until the tape started to wear out. It doesn't need depth because its strength is in the mood, the pace, the way it throws you into the fire and never lets you cool off. When I think about Cobra now, I think about that VHS cover at the video store. I think about the rough energy, the one-liners, the way Stallone looked like the coolest guy alive, even while everything around him was burning. Cobra is pure 1986, loud, violent, stylish, and unforgettable.
You know what the trouble with you is? You're too violent. Me? This is where the law stops, and I start. You have the right to remain silent.
Cobra is one of those movies that somehow slipped through the cracks. For all the talk about Stallone in the 80s, it's always Rocky or Rambo that people go back to, while Cobra sits on the shelf like a forgotten gem. To me, that's what makes it so fun. It doesn't have the polish of his big franchises, and it doesn't pretend to. It's rougher, dirtier, and unapologetically over the top, which is exactly why it works.
It's also breeding a new kind of cop.
All along you knew it wasn't right.
On top of that, Cobra has moments that are just flat out fun. Cobretti cutting pizza with scissors, the one-liners, or the wild car chases where it feels like the city itself is falling apart. It doesn't slow down long enough for you to question anything, and that's part of the charm. It moves fast, it hits hard, and it leaves you with images burnt into your head.
22-year-old victim was mutilated with a sharp instrument and seemed to be just as unlikely a victim as the other 15.
The thing is, Cobra never tried to be a masterpiece. It wasn't made to win awards or get glowing reviews. It was made to deliver an experience, loud, violent, stylish, and fun. And because of that, it's aged in a way a lot of cleaner, safer 80s action movies haven't. And it's still amazing to watch, like slipping back into that VHS era where the grittier the movie looked, the better it played. That's why I think Cobra is so underrated. It's not a footnote in Stallone's career, it's one of the purest examples of what 80s action was all about.
Rocky, Rambo, all American heroes. Now Cobra joins the home video hits. Stallone is a cop called Cobra, the strong arm of the law. Now available on VHS and beta video cassettes only from Warner Home Video.
Terminator is easily one of the best movies ever made, and definitely one of the best from the 80s. It's legendary, and the impact it had on action and sci-fi was massive. It's dark, full of neon, and extremely stylized, which makes this movie still feel fresh, relevant, and original despite its age.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator.
The first time I saw The Terminator, it felt like I had stepped into something that wasn't supposed to be watched, like a warning broadcast from a future we were already losing to. It just drops you right into massive chaos, with humans getting obliterated by machines. There's no slow build up to that moment. It hits you instantly with the fact that, in the not so distant future, AI decided to take over and get rid of humanity. But what I love so much about this is how it's presented, because you can already see how stylized the movie is, since even such scenes of extreme destruction and pain are shot and presented with lots of dark neon colors, while a heavy synth beat plays in the background. This soundtrack pretty much defined a whole decade, since the 80s were full of synth sounds, and even today, you can see the impact Terminator had in the sounds of a lot of modern movies, and especially sci-fi. It's shot so damn well, and it feels like the movie is telling you that there's going to be some serious shit happening. To me, part of why this movie is so good and still scary, honestly, is the fact that it feels so real. I mean, Arnold, despite barely having any dialogue here, is literally behaving like an emotionless killing machine. He's showing zero emotions, pain, or any other kind of reaction. Everything he does is calculated and brutal. He almost steals every scene he's in, despite mostly staying silent. But that's exactly why he's so terrifying. All he wants to do is kill and destroy until his mission is done. He doesn't even care if he kills the wrong person or how many people have to be taken out in the process.
They wait on handguns, but the rifles you can take right now. You can't do that.
Wrong.
One of my favorite scenes is the shootout in the police station, which not only has an amazing synth sound playing in the background, but is honestly mind-blowing in the sense of how daring it is. I mean, how many movies do you know or see where one of the main characters literally obliterates an entire police station?
I'll be back.
While the movie and the T-800 might not be scary in the same sense as something scary in a classic horror movie, there's just something about the Terminator that gives me chills. It's this emotionless, extremely ruthless destruction that to me feels so different from that of a psycho or a hitman. I mean, even the most evil human being will still experience some sort of emotions. Even if it's just some sick sadistic pleasure, it's still pleasure. But the T-800 feels nothing. He doesn't care about anything except the fact that he has to take out Sarah Connor. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter who gets in the way. He'll do it one way or the other, which makes him feel like a massive force that is coming towards you, and no matter how much you push against it, it still keeps coming.
Come with me if you want to live.
Even when his fake skin has been peeled off and we see his true creepy skeleton, he still keeps coming. Even after his legs have been destroyed, he still keeps crawling. The Terminator isn't just dark because of the lighting or the plot, it's dark because it doesn't offer any hope or positive message. It tells you this future is coming and it's coming fast, and if you're not ready for it, too bad, the future doesn't care. And considering how AI slop is slowly taking over the internet, I honestly stopped viewing this movie as pure fantasy. I also think that this movie is extremely unique even to this day because it's not just a sci-fi horror movie but also synth horror, similar to a lot of John Carpenter movies, which The Terminator honestly could have easily been. I mean, a lot of stuff here really does feel like something you'd see and hear in a Carpenter movie. To me, The Terminator will always be one of the best movies ever made, and anytime I hear its main theme, I know things are about to get wild.